Hey everybody, and welcome to a Hex Token channel. Your host Superman in the house, and a big welcome to you. One more day to go. I said Hex, one more day to go. That's the title of the video, of course, to the Hex's third birthday. One day 1095. It's going to be pretty epic. One day to go. We're gonna have a bit of a party on this channel about that. So I'm going to schedule that probably later on today. So look forward to that one. The other thing, of course, is we're gonna have a lot of fun today. We're going to get into, obviously, stock market. We're going to get into crypto. We're going to get into lots of your favorite projects. And, of course, we're going to be covering Internet Money Wallet. That's going to be opening up in just a little while with their sacrifice. I'm going to be talking about what I think are good about it and what I think are the risks. So what are the pros and what are the risks? So think about that. And later on, you can post what you think is good and what you think maybe is risky. So you can put that in there. Now, I have got a poll up around Internet Money Wallet. So get in there and vote. Will you be sacrificing to Internet Money Wallet opening imminently? Yes. No, I got WD, so I get free WD. No, not participating, and maybe. So get in there. We've got 22 votes already. We'll check that out later on. So I'll be talking about that towards later on, probably in about, we'll probably jump in there twice, actually, just before the opening, and then and more full just after later on. So stay tuned for that. So cool. We're going to get into it. So we've got a couple of people in the house there. Ted Nelson, good to see you. Had a Hex Token, good to see everybody. Sarah, here on time for once. Nice one, Sarah. Great to see you in the chat. And Pulsechain says, it's not that I don't think Internet Money is a good project. It's just that I have plenty of dry powder saved for more Pulsechain. Hey, Pulsechain, that's to say it for the Pulsechain. But I squandered it like a fool chasing shiny new objects. Yeah. I think with the exception is that if you're wanting to chase probable projects and not shiny possible projects, that's what I always focus on this channel. So I think, just get that dry powder ready again. Pulsechain, you still got time. Pulsechain's not launched yet. Nothing can or should be at least beat a new layer one. No, Pulsechain, that's very true. Maybe Pulsex, who knows? We'll see. Already put into pool A and B. I'm all sacked out, says Lammy. Nice one. Yeah, so this is the second sacrifice. This is a multi-chain sacrifice as opposed to the first one, which was Pulsechain. But people with that Pulsechain will get credited for that. So we'll talk more about that later in the live stream. Brendan says, good day, all. Good to see you, Rango. And Rango in there too. Hey, everybody. We got Wookie. Hey. It's Fat Albert from Wookie. Good to see Wookie in the house there. And one day closer to V3. That is true. Well, not only are we one day closer to the Hex's third birthday, but we are one day closer to Pulsechain testnet V3. That's true. Visional in the house as well. Good to see you, Visional. As well, good to see you as well. We got Jim Rat Crypto. Jim Rat Crypto seems to be on multiple channels at the moment. He is the what's a multi-channel hero? He is Jim Rat Crypto, a new definition. Good to see you, Jim Rat. Matt and Barley in the house there. Hello, all. Good to see you. Fat Sammy as well. Woohoo! We got Fat Sammy. Good to see one of our community leads as well with Brian as well. We got both of our community leads in the chat there. So great to see you both. And Matt, beach time soon, folks. Beach time soon. Got to walk those dogs, that's for sure. All right, so cool. Let's have a quick look at the countdown for the. We've got 25 minutes to go for the Internet Money Wallets countdown. We'll talk more about that later. Let's jump over to the stock market news. And, of course, 1 day away, folks. 1 day to go till the Hex's third birthday. Then we'll be in our fourth year, which is going to be cool. All right, so cool. Stock market today. Dow ends flat as Apple slip ways and pale-eyed. It says pale-eyed. So we'll talk about that. Man, some of the language that they write on there. Who knows? But anyway, so we got the Dow Jones, the top 30 industrials in the US is pretty much flat at 3 points increase, and of course 33,852. We got the S&P 500 is just slightly down at 6.6 points to 3,957. We got the Nasdaq with all the tech companies in it. That is down 0.6%, 65 points down to 10,983, just breaking that 11,000 mark at the moment. So cool. We have the dollar up just slightly against its trading partners at the index at 106.74. Let's jump over to the commodities, and we've got West Texas is up $1.64, up 2%, and Brent oil up dollar there at 1.2%, and of course $78, $79, and $85 respectively with the two oil prices there. We got the gold. Let's have a look at a gold. I'll probably end up talking a bit more about gold. I know Randy Alaski is focusing on gold and silver. I may end up touching on that topic a bit more too. We've got gold there up down 60 cents there at 17.47. pretty much flat, down 6 slightly though. It says flat there percentage, but it's down slightly. Silver there is up 28 cents, at 1.3%, and good day in the office, $21.20 there. Obviously, if we get a Fed pivot at some stage, silver could really fly. That's kind of Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad's view of silver as a potential investment. All right, so cool. That's where we are there. Let's have a look at some of the commentary. We've got the Dow closed flat Tuesday after struggling for direction as an Apple-infused stumble weighed on tech as Treasury yields continued to creep higher just a day ahead of a speech from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. So that's coming up. So we'll be looking for that tomorrow, probably. So Apple closed 2% lower, adding to its losses from a day earlier as investors continue to fret about the impact of the C19-led hit to the iPhone production in China. TF International Security Analyst Ming Chi Q flagged significant downside risk to Apple and iPhone supply chain, estimating a shortfall of between 15 and 20 million iPhone 14 Pros and Pro Maxes. Man, that's tons. That's a lot. To the Xinjiang iPhone plant labor protests going on. Obviously, Microsoft and Apple were also in the red, pressured by an ongoing climb in Treasury yields as data showed that consumer spending, which accounts for 2/3 of the US economy, remained robust and still holding up there. That's not what we want to hear in some ways. It's positive, but we want the interest rates to stop going up, right? So we'll see how that plays out in December. We've got our PCE inflation numbers coming out on the 1st, so we'll be watching that really closely too. That's the one that the Fed's really following. The Conference Board's summer consumer confidence gauge rose 100.2 points in November from 100 in September, beating economists' forecast for a reading of 100. So still confidence. So a big consumer spending, still confidence consumers. And of course, the consumer data suggests that the Fed needs to continue to push forward the hawkish policy guidance that they have been delivering for the last few months. So that's not so good. So it suggests the Fed needs to continue to push forward with the hawkish policy guidance they have been delivering for the last few months. So it's not what we want to hear. We want to get that 50 basis points, and we don't want the terminal rate to be too high. So we'll see how we get on here at this stage. So we'll wait for that inflation to come out on the PCE data on the 1st of December. Investors will look at, to Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's speech at the Hutchins Center on Fiscal and Monetary Policy at Brookings, on Wednesday for further clues of monetary policy. We'll be looking at that too coming up. So not just the inflation, but that too. Energy stocks rebounded from a rout a day earlier amid hopes that the OPEC and its allies, known as OPEC Plus, are mulling production cuts at an upcoming meeting next week. So this is what happened. The US gave back the power. Remember, under Trump and the previous administration, they went to self-sufficiency in the US. And then under the current Biden administration, they've taken that back, and they're doing all sorts of crazy policies. And now they push the power back to OPEC. So OPEC can just cut production and push the prices up and make huge profits and live the life, as they say. So that's pretty much it on the stock market. Let's jump over to crypto. Crypto at the moment, BTC still holding. The hammer is not quite fallen yet. We're waiting for that timeline. And of course, it's almost 2 weeks since we expected it to fall. And of course, it's still holding up here. $16,448 being resistant. And of course, maybe some of that stuff trying to contain the contagion from FTX is still holding up. But we are seeing, small exchanges here and there are closing. Other things are starting to happen. So we'll see how that plays out. ETH at the moment, $1,217, up 4%. We do have a green day today. BNB up 1% to 296. Dodge up 6.7% to over 10 cents. A bit of a power move by Dodge there. We've got stable coins, slightly under peg, but still relatively stable, and so forth. So I'm just having a look at a few of these. We've got Solana at $13.38. That's pretty flat. What else is in here? Crow. We've been following Crow. That's crypto.com. That is at 6.3 cents, just up slightly too. There's some of our highlights there. So, Dodge is the standout performance at the moment. Not sure if there's any particular news around Twitter or something around that. Maybe Elon did a tweet, but that's definitely out there. Some people are talking about Litecoin a bit more, up 3% to $76. Talking about Litecoin there as well. We will see. Now, some of the stuff having around FTX, obviously FTX, the regulators, you got the SEC looking at them. You got the Justice Department looking at them. You got regulators looking at them in Texas and other places. And of course, getting calls in for Sam Bankman-Fried as a Texas regulator. So those are sort of playing out. You've got BlockFi, which covered that yesterday, going into Chapter 11 liquidation. They're also looking to sue for Robinhood shares, I believe, on FTX. So that's also in play. So we've got quite a few things still happening with the FTX fallout, and I imagine that's going to continue. So we'll see that. And I think FTX, Sam Bankman-Friedman's doing a little book speech. Not sure if that's been on yet, and that's kind of controversial too. So we'll see how that plays out. Will he get away with it, or is it all going to catch up with him eventually, despite his Democrat friends and his media friends, which are trying to paint him that it's just unfortunate, woe is me type of thing, rather than the fraudster. So we'll see how we go there as well. Let's jump into Hex, of course. Hex at the moment at 2 had a nice little rally, and of course we got down yesterday as low as 2.33 cents. And of course, today we're up at almost 2.7 cents. Can you believe it? Almost 2.7. And that's really cool. What a nice little bounce back today. I'm sure when we got down to this 2.33, I'm sure there was an urge by some people they're probably thinking in their mind, maybe I should sell down here. Maybe it's going to keep slipping. People were talking about 0.5 cent and 1 cent. Hey, and we don't know what the bottom's going to be. But it definitely bounced back today. 2.7. There we go. It's up slightly even while we're watching it. So that's kind of cool to see that. Now, where's it going to go? We'll find out. And the hammer has not fallen on the crypto market yet. So Hex is definitely correlated to the market at the moment. We saw that on the chart that we showed the other day. So we will see how this plans out. Now, we got the CPI, the PCE, inflation and data. This is the bigger one based on GDP, much broader basket of inflation. And of course, this is what the Fed looks at when they're targeting their 2% inflation target. So this is coming out on the 1st. We've also got Jerome Powell coming out on the Wednesday, US time. Obviously, it's Wednesday in New Zealand here. That's going to come out too. So we're going to see both of those back to back pretty much. It's going to be fun to see. And that will help us determine what they're going to do on the 14th of December, which is not too far away now, right? It's not too far at all. So, yeah, it's I thought I had the ruler up there. It's how many days? It's currently about 14 days, 2 weeks away. So 2 weeks away, final rate hike for the year for the Fed. This is really important, this one, man. Is it going to be 50 basis points to 75? This will really hit the tone, set the tone for the stock market and crypto, in my opinion. So we'll be watching these 2 data points as well as the speech tomorrow from Jerome Powell, which was probably tonight sometime. So we'll see. Sorry, it's actually probably tomorrow. So sometimes it's confusing trying to get your New Zealand time and the US time since we're so far ahead. So what else? We're 21 hours ahead of Los Angeles. Can be a little confusing. New York, 18 hours ahead of New York. So there we are. All right, cool. We've got the Hex's 3rd birthday coming up. Woo! Yeah, bring it on. And we're about to have a new candle here. The new candle is going to be about 17 minutes. We'll have a new candle here. And then, of course, we've got one more day to go until the Hex's 3rd birthday. So I'm looking forward to that. 2nd of December it's going to be. So looking really, really nice. So I hope I got the days right here. It can be confusing. I'm thinking about my time zone. So there we are. All right. So cool. We're getting closer and closer, though. We're going to be starting day, 1094 in a couple of minutes. So we're getting there. All right, cool. That is pretty much. Let's have a look at the Whalebot and see what's been happening in the last 24 hours on the Whalebot. I will get in the chat in a second before we much further. We're just getting up to the Hex price here. We've got 2.6 million Hex staked for 1,200 days, 171 T-shares. Nice, very nice. That's what Hex is all about. So cool. What else there? We've got 982,000 Hex in staked. Slightly early, 790. By the way, if you stake, so this one's staked for 790 days, which is fairly long in the history of Hex. And of course, it serves 738 days. So it's in staked early. They got an ROI still of 9.1, but you actually, at that top end, you still get quite a large penalty on your interest at that level. So it's going to be pretty interesting there. So anyway, they ended up getting rewarded 392. They paid 204,000 in penalties, but it's just an interesting thing to keep in your mind. You can definitely get charged a decent amount of penalty, especially if you don't have a big payday in it. If you don't have a big payday, so remember that. 5 million Hex just staked for 5,000 days. Woohoo! So nice. We got 2 big stakes today. That's pretty nice there. Good to see that. 3 million Hex stake for 5,000. Very cool. Wow, that's awesome stuff. So it's nice to see that. There's probably commentaries about this. Baller plus a 5 million Hex stake from the same account. So 2, both are the same. So nice. So some good staking there. Obviously, staking out that far, they're going to have all these T-shares out there. So it's It's a long play. So, but there'll be a big T-share owner out there because T-shares are going to dive. Even with growth, the T-shares are going to dive. And of course, the people that have played that long game with the T-shares, they're going to have relatively bigger pools. We already see the T-share pools shrinking lately, right? Under that 10.4 million. And so you can see it's gone down, 46,000 T-shares. So you can see that shrinking. Your T-share ownership is going to be really cool in the future from that. So it's much better than what we forecast at the moment. So based on current data. All right, so cool. We got some good accounting in there as well with lots of penalties. And that's pretty much it as well. 2 hours ago, we had 7.8 million bought for 212,000. Was it a speculator or was it a buyer? We will see. So cool. Oh, we got some other stuff in there. Lots of people were excited about that. What's up? We got some clap in there. So that's pretty cool. We like that. So nice little buy there. All right, so cool. Let's have a look at this, the Hex Global Stakes. We'll get in the chat in a second. Let's have a look all the way out till next year. We'll go down to, I guess, another week there. That's close enough. And yeah, we've got some of these big candles that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks. So we've got this 567 million Hex coming out on the 1st. So that is, well, at least tomorrow my time. So it's coming up. And then we've got some of these other ones, 417. We've got three just under 300 million. And then on the 5th, we've got 409. So this is the front of a wave, the front of the wave. We had quite a lot in October coming out, 40% of the last ones since the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th type thing. 28th has been coming from the OA accounts. So I didn't actually filter for early November. So I'm not sure if there's any in there either. There probably is. So anyway, something for, you can check that on Hexfire. He's got that set up. So cool. Then we've got a bit of a break going through to December. Some smaller candles in here all the way to 25th. And then by the time we get to the new year, we've got these bigger candles here, 300 and 369. And then we've got some more breaks in here. So we've got still quite at the front of the wave. These are our short, large holders staking, including OA stuff probably in here. And of course, I'll have to double check that, but definitely in late at the end of November, we've had a lot of OA stuff coming out. We've got a big gap here in March. We've got a couple of big candles here in April. Big gap all the way through until we get to the 25th of July next year. We've got this big candle here, which is 407. Big gap until we get to 620 million Hex coming out here on the 3rd of September 2023. That's the year ahead, folks, what it looks like at the moment. And of course, these are slowly breaking up as we move forward in time. We've also got a lot in circulating supply, and so we'll see how that plays out too. And then, of course, Pulsechain somewhere in here. Pulsechain, Pulse Gains, is it? Or Pulse X Gains, something like that. So that's pretty much it for the Hex start. We're going to get into the ETH Power. Well, actually, we'll cover ETH Power and ETH Fair first. Let me see what time it is. Got to keep track of the time today. So let me have a look on the ETH pair. So we've got down number 12. So $567,000 of volume on ETH Power at the moment. And of course, we've got the price of Hex at 0.002160, up 3.5% on 24 hours, and $29,000 liquidity and $1,000 in trading volume. That's the top pair. There's another pair down here, 0.000212, same, and with half, so about $1,500 of trading volume. Very small retail play, but hey, you never know what will happen in the bull market. And of course, some people will accumulate at the bottom of the bear. Then you never know what happens. Never know what happens. Speculative, small retail play. Now, ETH Fair is even dramatically smaller. $1,600 in 24-hour volume. It's almost laughable. But Hex is still dominating in here. Number 2 pair, and of course the price is at 403,900. So 403,900. Price is down 4%. $3,400 liquidity in the top pair. $420 in trading volume. So that is pretty much it on the small ones there. I just feel like need to cover that. Now, obviously, we're going to have ETH and Pulsechain. Those will be the dominant ETH chains that you'll be earning 2 passive incomes with Hex. If you haven't checked out Hex, check out hex.com and links in the video description. And of course, one thing I was going to say about that is that you need to do your investment due diligence. And on this channel's investment advice, got to always say that, but it's very important that you do that and get educated in crypto. Education in crypto is very, very important. Now, we're going to leave it on the Hedron chart here for a minute. We're currently at 920. I just want to catch up on the chat. We've probably got a few people in the house. We have got our poll up for the Internet Money. It's about to open. Let's jump over there for the moment. We've got just under 10 minutes to go, 9 minutes to go for that sacrifice to open. and we'll see how we go on there. Current sacrifice is 0. Credit for the first sacrifice, which they already did some time back for Pulsechain, 1.6 million. And of course, that is included in this as well, because these people are getting the equivalent amount airdropped to them in the second one. So we're going to talk more about that soon. Cool. And what else is there? I think that's yeah. So we're going to talk about that a bit later. Stay tuned. That's coming up pretty shortly. Let's leave on the Hedron chart here and get into the comments. Probably got quite a few here. Where did I get up to here? We had definitely back up here. We've got, I think we got up to Matt. Who bought the dip? Yeah, says Matt. Yeah, who bought the dip on Hex? Let us know in the chat if you did buy the dip on Hex. Sarah G says Apple is threatening to remove their app from Twitter. Probably the, you mean moving the Twitter app from the Apple App Store? Yeah. That's a pretty bad app. This is how bad these tech companies are. They're all in cahoots, right? So you got the Democrat Party, the mainstream media, and the tech companies all colluding together, manipulating the system. So that's the problem there. They're anti-free speech because they're going for the whole win. They're going for the whole game. They're not mucking around anymore. They're going for the complete win. And therefore, they're going to using the laws to impose them. We've got this happening in New Zealand, Australia. Australia's coming up, so Australia's still got time. We've got New Zealand, Australia, and of course, we're going to have Canada, places like France, places like that. They're rushing through these laws. We're like 20 laws going through at the moment. They're all going to impose their will, so they'll control what we can say, what we can do, and what we can think. So, and you hear a lot of these leaders. They admire China, the Chinese authoritarian regime, including the World Bank, SHAB, and all that. It's really bad. So this is what I mean. People have to stand up and in a civil way and push back for your freedom, because these guys are looking to take it away. Wickie's in the house. Good to see you. High Stakes Hex says Superman gonna give it to you. Says High Stakes Hex, like that one. We got Crypto Knight in the house. Hi guys, good to see you, Crypto Knight. Spirit Falcon says, what is the address for the internet money sacrifice? Okay, so that's not yet up yet, but it's going to be up in about 8 minutes time or so. So we'll talk about that soon. They're not posting that until the actual site is until the live actually goes live. I got greedy and didn't buy the Hex dip. I thought a test of 2 cents was on the card, says Brennan. I see. That happens too, right? That happens too. There is the link. Yep, there's the link to the sacrifice for the internet money. What do you think about the high APYs Qcoin is paying out? Liquidity crunch. Yeah, well, you know, Qcoin's actually been one of my more favorite centralized exchanges, although I don't really spend much time on there. That is one of the ones I have used a lot in the past. But yeah, they'll face, if they're paying too high, then they'll face a crunch. Typically, I think their real stuff is around about 2% or something like that. So we'll see what happens there. Astrid in the house, woohoo, good to see you. Matt and Barley says, Brennan, so you're waiting for a bigger dip. So am I. Yeah, for the Hex. Like Superman said, Matt, we have every possibility that the hammer drops, that Hex could go low, but DCA is the best strategy. I think so, Brennan. I think that's probably the way to go with that. No birthday party in Vegas this year. Someone's got a birthday party on Vegas, I think, for the Hex second birthday. I think there's a meet up there. Why so many people ain't participating in internet money, says Christian. Probably because people are tired of sacrifices and we're in a bear market. But I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of internet money coming up and sacrifices generally. People are scared of the bear market. That's right. That is right. I think a lot of people are broke and staked out. True. That's true. With the asset values coming down, everyone's asset portfolios are lower. And this is what I said months and months ago. Remember, I said everyone's got going, oh, I want the price to be lower so I can get lots more. Price gets lower, and everyone's like, damn, my portfolio is down. Damn. So I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you want the price to be down. And it's only some people, of course, but it makes you laugh. I laughed back then, if you remember. If you watch my channel, you remember I was laughing about that. What happens when all the T-shares are burned, used up? Who knows, Frank? I think that's going to be a long time coming. A long time coming. The share rate's going to take. It's going to accelerate. So that's going to be a long time away. Scared money don't make money, says Christian. Broke as long as I got 1 cent in my pocket. I'm not broke, says Christian. I think you need a bit more than that to buy something to eat there, Christian. People may be waiting Richard Hart wallet, not internet money wallet. Possibly Pulsar Beta. I'm not sure if Richard has 1 or 2 devs on it, whereas the internet money team's well ahead of Richard's team. They've also, it just depends on, they've also got a whole team. They've got a whole team working on the internet money wallet. So unless Richard Hart's dev is a genius, like, you know, one of the best devs, because there is a big gap between devs at the top order. No offense to all the devs, but there's that genius level, which is probably only a small class of people at the very top. So it depends on how you allocate that, how clever the person is. So yeah, I get it, but I like to have options spread my bread all over, says Christian. Matt Barley says, happy birthday to my sister. Maybe a staked hex would be a nice gift. I think that'd be a pretty nice gift there, Matt. You should time the stake period for some other anniversary as well, perhaps. I like the fact that Internet Money pays, mister. That's the only reason I'm messing with it, says Christian. Couldn't say it better myself. Free speech. Woohoo, says Crypto Cav. Yeah. CBDC will take away our right to privacy. Oh, man. It's worse than that. Not privacy. It's going to control what you say and what you do, because if they don't like what you say or what you do, they can stop your money, and that's terrible. These guys are up to no good. They're going for the complete power play. It will take it's going to come in waves. It's going to come in waves, and we've got a big wave coming in good old New Zealand at the moment. Product Review says, great show. Happy Review. Thanks so much. And Matt and Bali, the Zen 45-day mint claiming today. Wow, free money is a thing, says Matt. Nice. Well done to you on that one. See, man, I appreciate your situation awareness in the geopolitics. Couldn't agree with you more, brother. Freedom of speech or death, says Stake Hex. No, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. I agree with that. Johnny Big Bangs in the house there with the money sign. Hey, look, we must be getting pretty close. 3 minutes to go for the Internet Money Sacrifice. We will be getting onto that a bit later as well. We've got Scott Jackson. Don't worry, 2 cent hex will be coming soon, says Scott. No, Scott, no. All right, so yeah, hey, look, we don't know when the bottom's going to be. We do know that it's correlated to the crypto at the moment, and sometimes you get uncorrelated. And of course, it takes a particular news for it to be uncorrelated. There are a couple of things that can make it uncorrelated, as we've seen in the past. We will see. We have been in a long bear market for hex, and that means that it's an opportunity for people to get hex for cheaper at the moment. It's pretty much it. There's not much. There's no magic genius about that. DJ Paulie's in the house there. Black Hexagon's birthday party Thursday in San Diego, says DJ Paulie. Come out to visit us all week long. Nice one there, DJ. That's great. Yeah, definitely check that out. J-Man in the house. Hey, J-Man. Woohoo! J-Man in the house. And Mate and Barley says, freedom fighter, fight for your rights or bow down, get jabbed and be controlled. Very sad. What's going on? One hour sleep. Hey, Matt and Barley, it's funny. I saw a girl on Twitter advertise for she wanted to go on a date with someone unvaccinated. I thought that was pretty funny. And RH Wallets will copy the best ideas from Internet Money Wallet and Oryx Wallet and so on. Yeah, Oryx Wallet, that's Randy Alaski's one. And of course, he's been doing a great job with his live streams lately. Shout out to Randy. If we do the RPC bots, would whatever new counseling and stakes be copied on the Pulsechain? Oh, that's a question to me. If we do RPC bots, whatever new counseling or stakes be copied? Hey, it's on the blockchain, Christian, and of course the wallet's just you got your private keys in it. So yeah, it's your wallet. It's all your assets are on the blockchain. So if it's sacrificed for Pulsechain, you're going to get them copied. So if you had any assets on Ethereum, they'll be copied over to Pulsechain. So you don't have to worry about your wallet or anything like that. So cool. Brian says, is it better in any way to sack from Internet Money Wallet or MetaMask? What's it? MetaMask? An Internet Money Wallet, I would say. Marco Saylor should have waited. The longer you wait, the more you get. A 15,000 Bitcoin would have got him many more. I know, Matt. I know. I agree with you on that. He's not the best buyer. Hey, he might be right long term, but he's not the best in the short term. That's for sure. How long does the wallet sacrifice last? Well, it's going to be a little while. 29 seconds. Let's count it down. Woo! Up and to the right here. Internet Money Wallet. Now I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of this. So I'm fairly neutral about this. I do, and I'm going to tell you the pros and cons about what I think about this. And you let me know your pros and cons in the chat as well, because you guys can drop some alpha to everybody else in there, particularly people that are newer to crypto. So 7 seconds to go. The address is going to populate here when the timer hits 0, 3, 2 seconds, 1 second. And there we go. There is the address, folks. That is the address OXDDD05. And, of course, ends in 186FAB4. And, of course, in the middle there, it's got 20339-1EF. That is the official address for Sacrifice. So that is the Internet Money. So cool. It's going to last for as long as it takes to reach the target. Now, it's 2 phases. There's a wave, basically phase A and phase B, basically. We'll actually maybe we'll talk about it now since it's just launched. So we've got the Internet Money Wallet here on Twitter. And of course, KG is covering it on his channel at the moment. And of course, we've got internet public beta is also open. So the actual wallet is in public beta. I will cover that on this channel. That is out at the moment. But of course, the sacrifice is live as well. So that is now live. So we've got the official address here. I'll post the link in the chat again in case you do want to look at that. But once again, I'm going to give you my pros and cons. So pros and cons there. That is the validation. Now you can put that in a blockchain and check that out. So multi-chain sacrifice begins. It has begun now, and we covered it live here on this channel. So the current amount sacrificed is 0. Credit for first sacrifice is 15, almost 16. Sorry, 1.6 million US dollars. Total sacrifice is 1.6. So this is from the first sacrifice from Pulsechain, the original one for WD. Now you can sacrifice on Ethereum chain, BSC chain, in Avalanche and Polygon, all for this address at the above. So on that address shows up on all these EVM chains. And of course, you can use any of these tokens: ETH, Hex, USDC, Tether, DAI, Link, and Wrap Bitcoin on Ethereum chain. But you've sent it to that same address. BSC chain on BNB, USDC, USD Tether, BSD, AVAX, and Matic on Avalanche and Polygon, respectively. So Polygon is Matic, and you have to send it to this address here. So that's pretty much it. So let's have a look at the details there. What are the details? What am I sacrificing for? Well, the freedom of time. We're going to jump through this part here, but in the active free speech, like-minded community members, I was going to jump it, but I might read it, may show their support for the idea that all humans are entitled to their time. Those that choose to show their support for this movement will have points attributed to the wallet address that made the sacrifice. These points are non-transferable, have no value. These points represent an allocation of the token's internet money wallet dividend, which is WD. And of course, that was the first sacrifice that we did. And of course, second one, a future wallet dividend there, FWD. So that is the one that's on at the moment. 1 point equals 1 WD on Ethereum, 1 WD on BSC, and 1 FWD on Ethereum there. So that's what you're getting for each 1 point there. So that is what you're getting by sacrificing. Time frame sacrifice begins with pool A on November the 30th at 2022, 0 to UTC, which is now. We did it, cover it now, live on the channel. You saw us count it down, and ends with when 12 million US dollars total sacrifice value is achieved on or before December the 30th, 2020. So it's basically running for a month. If sacrifice pool A is filled before December the 30th at 0 UTC time, then sacrifice pool B will open up immediately. So this is like it did last time. And of course, last time I think it sold out, was it, a couple of hours and for Wave A. This will be a little different, no doubt, because it's a bigger target. Pool B will stay open with no monetary cap for 5 days, 120 hours. Any sacrifices received after the end of the 5th day after pool B opens will not receive any points. So they have got a hard line cutoff date there. Participated in the sacrifice for WD on Pulsechain. So if you already participated in the first one, those who participated in the, let me just magnify this, make it a little bit bigger here. There, that's a bit easier. Those who participated in the first sacrifice of freedom of time, WD on Pulsechain, are being credited with 1-to-1 US dollar value towards this new multi-chain sacrifice, which is really positive, right? That's really good that they're rewarding the people that sacrifice the Pulsechain, and I think that's a good move, a good move forward. So good ethos there. We got example: if you sacrifice 1,000 US dollars for WD on Pulsechain, you will be credited 1,000 USD value on the same address used in the first sacrifice, and of course towards the multi-chain sacrifice, which is the current one opening now. What is WD? Internet Money Wallet Dividend is the first token of its kind. Instead of traditional fees for swapping crypto assets, the Internet Money Wallet fees are paid in the form of a blockchain native coin. Those fees are locked in an immutable smart contract with no admin keys, so very important. We're in DeFi, where WD holders can claim their portion of the fees as frequently as every block. So that's really wonderful. 100% of the wallet revenue is distributed to WD holders. You do not need to lock your WD up in any way. Simply hold WD on your desired blockchain and earn passive income in the form of PLS. So you don't have to lock it up. You just simply hold it on your desired blockchain and you earn passive income in the form of PLS, ETH, BNB, and other native tokens, depending on what chain you're on, for example. With a total fixed supply of 2 billion WD tokens, there is no risk of dilution due to inflation, which is another nice thing there as well. Now, we're going to talk about the pros and cons, what I think pros and cons of internet money. So we're going to talk about that. Here's the mechanism. So basically, this, how does it make money? You sacrifice, you get these points, and then you get these tokens. How do you make money? Of course, people swap. So in MetaMask, people are swapping. They're making millions of dollars on there. and we're going to talk about that in a second. So swap, number one, swap occurs within the wallet on Internet Money, and of course, number two, the swap fee is paid in the native coin of a given blockchain. Number three, the native coin is automatically locked in an immutable contract with no admin keys. And then number four, and this is the payday, holders of the WD token can claim their income as frequently as they choose. So all these different types of tokens, you can claim them, which is kind of cool. A lot of people, I think, will find that very popular. Now, they've got a little promo video here, Internet Money Wallet, and we're going to play that. So very short. We're going to play that, so let's play it. Bam.
Internet Money Wallet Dividend, or WD. WD is the first token of its kind. Instead of traditional fees for swapping crypto assets, the Internet Money Wallet fees are paid in the form of a blockchain's native coin. Those fees are locked in an immutable smart contract with no admin keys, where WD holders can claim their portion of the fees as frequently as every block. 100% of wallet revenue is distributed to WD holders. You do not need to lock your WD up in any way. Simply hold WD on your desired blockchain and earn passive income in the form of Pulse, ETH, BNB, and other native coins. Earn passive income. Free your time. Learn more at internetmoney.io.
So future wallet dividend will launch on Ethereum only. FW is a token that represents the WD token when it is launched on a future EVM chain. When WD is launched on a new EVM chain, holders of FWD on Ethereum will be airdropped the new WD token to the same address at a rate of 1-to-1. In order to receive your airdrop, you must hold your FWD in a non-custodial wallet with a total fixed supply of 2 billion tokens. There's no risk of dilution of inflation. That's pretty much the wrap there. A total of $1.6 million was sacrificed for WD on Pulsechain. The 12 million USD pool for value for pool A, which is the first one just opened now, and it is based upon the credit for the first sacrifice plus the US dollar value in pool A for the current sacrifice, the multi-chain one. So pool B A closes when $10,417,000 of value is sacrificed, and the total sacrifice pool of 12 million is achieved. So that's pretty clear. So pool A is open now, and then pool B will open if this thing hits the $12 million mark, or by the end of the 30th of the month or something like that. So it's cool. 70.8% of WD and FWD is in pool A. Once total sacrifice value equals 12 million, all additional sacrifices pour over into pool B here, which is typically a worse rate. So up to 10% of WD and FWD there. So between 12 million and $30 million total sacrifice value unlocks additional 1% of the WD and FWD supply. Every 1 million USD value sacrifice thereafter, an additional 1% unlocked. This rate will continue until 10% of the WD and FWD supply is unlocked. Once 10% is unlocked, there will be no cap on the total sacrifice value. The 10% of the value will be distributed proportionally to the individuals sacrificed in pool B. So that's some time there. Now, obviously, as the total sacrifice value heads towards 12 million in pool A, you'll get more points. So it's an incentive for people to spread the word. The more people that go in, the more points you get, I guess. It's kind of counterintuitive to the money, but that's how it's been structured there. So by the time they get close to 11 million, it'll be 118 points per dollar sacrificed. That's pretty much it. So pool A, you've got a calculator there, and pool B, there's a calculator there by Top Gun. Looks like Top Gun XD in there, so that's pretty cool. And you've got the calculator here, so it's kind of neat. Now, we're going to jump the roadmap because we're going to go straight to the B line here. So Q4 2022, we've got the sacrifice of WD on all chains begins. That's kind of where we're up at the moment. Then we've got begin third-party security audit process, public beta community feedback. So obviously they got their launch WD explainer video. We just watched that. And of course, they've also got their first release out at the moment being tested. So that's kind of cool. Now, they're looking at V1 launch in 2023, estimated time frame 1 to 6 months. So that's kind of the estimated time frame there coming up there. So that's going to be cool. You won't, if Pulsechain's not launched, let's say Pulsechain launches March, April. If Pulsechain's not launched by then they may end up launching perhaps earlier on that on the BSC chain or something like that. So it's kind of cool. That's pretty much it. Yeah, so launch on Ethereum and BSC chain airdrop sacrifice set. And of course launch FWD on Ethereum airdrop and sacrifice set here. So you can see those when the points are going to be the tokens will be allocated there. So I'm looking through some of that. 2023, 24, they got a whole list of things they want to add as well. So this is where a lot of the money's going. So that is some of the cool things there with the roadmap. You can check that out. Now, one thing I was going to say is pros and cons. We're going to talk about that. But let's go and check out how much money has been up there. Hopefully we'll have an update. I might have to refresh the browser. Let's see if there's an update there. What's got NAN. So something's not quite working there on the looks of it. But we can go and check out the ETH chain and have a look at that and see what's going on with that wallet. Right. So it looks like there's money coming in. So looks like money is coming into this wallet. So yeah, it's coming in there. People put money in there. It looks like we got just on the ETH chain alone. Looks like we've got USDC and Hex. Now I'm not sure what the starting balance was. I presume there was not much in here. Yep. And so that's that. Now you can go to where's the one here? We can see the other chains, and of course they've got other chains on this one. Let's have a look at this. So BSC chain. Remember, people can sacrifice BSC, BNB, USDC, USD Tether, and BUSD. So it looks like we've got a bit of money in there already, 9,000, 7,000. So we'll see how that goes. People are sending money there. Cool. That is what's going on there at the moment. Now, some of the pros and cons. Let me know your pros and cons about internet money in the chat there. We've also got a poll going at the moment, so we're going to end that soon. We've got a few comments in the chat there. Astrid says the Hedron stake is nice at the moment. Will decrease a lot when Poly stakes its Hedron. That's true, Astrid. That is true. That was one of the other hits of the having the stake not bidding on all the Hex HSIs was the Poly staking. Pulsechain says when Michael Saylor shows us all his bitcoins, no one else will want to buy his Pulsechain. Saylor told his mum to buy the top, says Brendan. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think he probably did too. He's still very active on Twitter. I must say, he's still bullish. Internet Money Wallet, was it? Con is competing with the future RH, says Crypto Cab. Hey, look, he's well ahead of where Richard was with the wallet, but you're right, it is going head to head potentially with the RH wallet. I'm not sure whether RH, Richard R, and KG have been in conversation at all about this. We will see. I kind of feel like maybe there was a little hint to it, but we'll see how that plays out. Invalid address, says Spirit Falcon. Wow, yeah. So we'll get the right address there. KG is Jack Black's co-member to Nations D. Says that's funny, man. That's funny. Be careful. Something not right with these sacrifice addresses, because that's it's got this address looks like it's changed, isn't it? Has that been hijacked or something? What's happening with this address here? OXCEBA. It looks like right. We'll just check what people have got in there. My address ends with 2001, so mine might be on the testnet RPC still. I'm not sure that I am. Let me have a look. I'm on the ETH chain. My wallet's on the ETH chain. That wouldn't change the website. This is OXBA. That's it, OXBA in 2001. Yeah, that's the same as that one, so that's cool. Shipping address is invalid is what I'm getting in MetaMask. Evening Superman says, check my pulse. Good to see you. Hello, Evening Hex family. Good to see you as well. Yeah, that looks correct. So Matt says, got to fly. It is past beach time. Thanks all. Enjoy your day. Eat well, sleep well, exercise, and pump crypto. Nice one, Matt. We agree with that one. All the best to you with that. Lamy says, I have posted an image on the Discord. Is everyone getting the same message? Odd Etherscan shows sacrifice coming in, but the website says 0 sacrifice amount. I know there's something wrong there with the interface. And so normally the last thing you want when you see it's still showing, not reading it. So something's not linking up properly on the website. Let me jump through that. Yeah, sorry about the mute. I accidentally muted myself too long. At least it wasn't too long. Good now, says DJ Paulie. Nice. And sorry about that. Yeah. WD finally this is getting so real and exciting, says Christine. Been waiting on crypto since Back to the Future movie in the 80s. Nice one there, Christine. That's funny. Can't wait. The Hexkins are the best. That's true. That's true. Ted says Hex Token KG said there was an address issue. It is now corrected if the transaction did not go through. Okay, cool. It's good to hear. Thanks, Ted, for that. There seems to be a problem on some devices with copying the sacrifice address from the website. On my Android, it pasted in all caps the way it looks on the web page. On my PC, it pasted correctly. Nice one there, Brian. Nice. All right, so imagine if RH says Internet Money Wallet is secretly this also. That'd be funny, Astray. That would be funny. Good to see you, Superman. Woo! Let's go, says Katie. You too. Always a pleasure. All right, so that's kind of what's happening there. We'll see. Looks like that's gone from NAN to 00. So maybe they have fixed up that website. I'm sure he oh no, it's still going NAN again. So let's have a look on the ETH chain. We'll do a refresh. There we are. So it's got 112,000 and 21,000 on there on the BSC chain. Let's have a look at this one. It's got 8 and 10,000. I'm not sure what other chains did we have. I think we had Polygon, did we? Polygon Scan. We got Polygon Scan. It's got $365. It's got 3 transactions there on some Matic. People put some Matic in there. Very nice. All right, so cool. OXCEBA in 2001. That seems to be the address. And of course, that is the address there, XCBA 2001. Cool. All right, so I did actually cover this a lot more. Now get into in the chat there about your pros and cons. So here's some of my pros and cons. So one, of course, the pros. The pros are pretty cool. So let's have a look at the pros. Now we're going to jump over to Famous actually. Now Famous, which I covered the other day, they're doing margin trading and stuff like that. It's going to be really, even though it's risky, it's going to be meet a certain part of the market and be good for Pulsechain from that point of view. But here is it. So yesterday, GMX had more daily fees than Uniswap for the first time since GMX's inception. So GMX is being forked by Famous and, of course, is margin trading, basically, liquidity, lending, swapping, and things like that. I covered that on here the other day. Now, what they're saying here is that GMX, which is a decentralized margin trading. So most margin trading is on centralized exchanges. It's what really makes a lot of people go to centralized exchanges, apart from being an easy gateway for people onboarding into crypto and some basic DeFi stuff there. But you got Uniswap at $1 million in fees, so trading fees for November the 28th. GMX got 1.1 million, so they did about another $100,000 more in trading fees. So that's about 1.1 million. So this is kind of what you might reasonably expect to get a good outcome in terms of flipping some of these, or at least getting good revenue. So what does that mean? That means you're probably getting about a Uniswap at that rate in a bear market at 1 million is around $365 million a year, right? So in fees. So that's kind of what you're looking at there. And obviously, Internet Money's got to get people using the wallet. All right, they're going to get people using the wallet. They've got to get the people swapping, using the swap feature in the wallets, and they've got to do that on multiple chains, right? So multiple chains could happen. The cool thing is, of course, is that the Uniswap is using its default is Infura. Obviously, that is tracking your IP and your wallets together, which is terrible. We don't want that, right? It's all about control, and of course, that can be reported. It gets reported back, so they start tracking you that way. So if you don't understand what that means that they've got sophisticated computer systems with algorithms that can profile all the stuff. Basically, at a query, let's go query, and it'll just run through, and it will profile the whole internet. Almost said family channel stuff, but the whole internet, they can do that. So that's how fast these guys are being able to track everything down. So that's kind of the play there. Obviously, GMX here, it's 1.1. So you got to see if GMX has built up that profile. So that's really positive. Now, I think there's a big demand for a new wallet, and I think that's that would be pretty cool. And I think Internet Money with the profit sharing, instead of it all going to one centralized unit on Uniswap, it's going to go to people that hold the tokens, which I think is really cool. So it's really democratizing the wallet fees. So everybody can swap, and people that hold in token, they get a share of all the swap fees. So it's fantastic. So that's some of the big pros. So some of the big pros and cons there. Some of the other things, of course, it will be potentially clashing up against the Richard Hart wallet. Obviously, Richard Hart is a giant brand. He has a huge following. And, of course, that's smashing up there. However, on the pros, of course, Internet Money is well ahead, and they have a much bigger team working on it. And we've seen them actually deliver very efficiently on their timeline. They've delivered very efficiently. We now have the beta version out at the moment. So it's pretty cool from that point of view. And so these are some of the pros and cons that you got to think about. How much revenue can you actually make? So the other side of it, of course, is if we're looking at $12 million, how much is the total raise? Because the total raise will impact. So how much revenue do you think they're actually going to make in a year, over a couple of years, on all the chains? Will that end up paying back the amount of sacrifice that get pushed out there? So you got that risk. And of course, is the sacrifice total amount going to be appropriate versus the upside? In other words, will they get to make $350 million in a year, or what will it need to get a decent profit out for you? So this kind of things there. Now they do have a calculator at the bottom that you can play around with, and of course you can see those numbers there. So we've already got those numbers from Famous there, around $1 million a day. So you can plug those into here like that. And you can play around with the fact of the rest of it, your sacrifice and total sacrificed amount, whatever that funding ends up being. Now, obviously, the lower the total amount, the better. And of course, if the upside's more, so the lower the capital raise and the higher the revenue, then that's going to be a better outcome for you. However, obviously, a lot of the sacrifice money, no expectations type of thing, is going to be flowing into this build-out roadmap for Internet Money Wallet, which looks pretty attractive, right? And a lot of cool things in here. You got to go through those items. What's material? What do you think will actually be material there? Very exciting. Now, I think they've also got first mover advantage in the Pulsechain ecosystem at this stage. And we just don't know the timeline. We know that there was 1 or 2 devs working on the Heart wallet. So that is another play as well. We also got Staker App out here as well. We've got Staker App over here also with their version 2. And of course, they're looking to be a big giant player. They already are the first biggest player out there. But these guys are going to be the first player with profit sharing that I know of in the Pulsechain ecosystem. So that's the big play, and I think that's really neat to see. So those are some pros and cons from me. Let me know in the chat what you think. Now, obviously, it's pretty cool. Is this a utility? This is a utility. I love utilities. I think they're the best value out there, and of course, I think that this has a good chance. But once again, it's got a lot of work to do, a lot of adoption to go. I think the strategy that KG has been doing in terms of getting a lot of YouTubers in the space covering it has been very positive, and that's the kind of thing that you're going to need to grow. So we're seeing some good signs of things to come from that. So let's see how we get on there. It's going to be fun to see this play out. Obviously, it's in your self-interest to spread the word about the wallet. Once you start, if you sacrifice, you want us to tell 50 people, 100 people to download the wallet as well and spread the word. And of course, they won't be using Infura for those tracking device either. So profit share, it's a win-win, right? You can't really think much more than that. Everybody gets the profits. Isn't that great? That is DeFi, and I think that's really positive. So you can weigh up those pros and cons. Just some of my thoughts. Let's get into some of the chat. Let's see if these actual balances are up here. Let's see if it's updated there. No, still doesn't seem to. We'll come back to that. Let's have a little look at some of the results straight away. There's the ETH chain. So it looks like we're about 150,000 in ETH chain so far, and we've only been up for about 23 minutes. Let's have a look at BSC chain. We got to $24,000, $25,000, and finally our little Polygon one here, about $460 or something like that. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. And of course, what other chains are there? Avalanche. There's Avalanche. I haven't got that up though. So cool. That is the one there. Now we're going to jump back to Hedron. Let's get into that. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And let's get up to Ashtree says, yeah. I think we got Brian says, anybody having trouble with the SAC address, jump into Discord and I will tell you how to get it worked out, says Brian. Thanks for that. Bob Wells in the house. Hello, folks. Good to see you, Bob. Bob Wells says, I'm not participating in the new IMD sacrifice because I already sacrificed. Yeah, nice one. That is an option. Let's finish our poll. I think it's pretty cool. Let's get to the end of the poll so that I don't forget about my poll here on the Hex Token channel chat. So we've got 91 votes. Woohoo! Well done, everybody. That was great voting. Will you be sacrificed for Internet Money Wallet opening imminently, which is obviously open now? No, not participating 42%, so 4 in 10 people. Maybe 25%, so 1 in 4. And yes, 24%, so 1 in 4 will be participating. That seems about right. Now, we are in a bear market. We are in, portfolios have gone down. We have, obviously, people are tired from sacrifices that we had earlier in the year. People were waiting for Pulsechain and Pulsechain. People want dry powder for Pulsechain, Pulsechain. We saw Pulsechain talking about that earlier. So there is a lot of these variables moving around. And so in these type of conditions, it's normally tougher to do sacrifices or capital raises or whatever, however you want to look at it. It's pretty cool. No, I got WD, so get free WD. So that's 7% already participated. They get their free copy. So that's pretty nice there. All right, so cool. We got Street Guru says RH doesn't want us to take liquidity from PLS to crap coin, says Street Guru. That's true. Street Guru says Hex gave free tokens. Where is the free stuff? Street Guru, we got Street Guru in there. Yeah. Hex gave free tokens. Where is the free stuff? I'm not sure what you mean by that. We've had heaps of airdrops in Hex and lots of other things, so I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. ID rather than dollars put into Pulse and Pulsex. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Street Guru, either there. I did a small sacrifice, says Brian. A nice one there, Brian. And Pulse Union says, Pulse Union in the house. Hope everyone is doing well. Countdown to Christmas almost here. That is true. That is true. Lammy says, nice to see, nice to get projects at the bottom. Fortunately, you can't do that with Pulse and PulseX. That seems to be the case too, Lammy. It's a good comment there. Crypto Capital says, don't sleep on the wallet dividend. That will pay itself off in time. Well, will it? That's the question you got to ask yourself. I think it's excellent. I think it's got a good pro from that pro, but there are pros and cons to it. So that's what I mean by being neutral. There are pros and cons to it. Obviously, you don't know how many people are going to adopt it. Maybe it gets mass adoption. It is certainly first in the play. It's designed in the way that benefits all the users. So that is a self-fulfilling type of thing. So we'll see how that plays out. And of course, how much gets sacrifices versus how much it makes in a year or over several years. You got to think about that as well. There is time value of money. But it's looking pretty good there, and we'll be tracking to see how it performs. But definitely think about those pros and cons as well. All right, cool. We got Hex at 2.7 cents. Hedron is at 19.29 and 5 so 19,029 on Hedron. Let's get into the results and see what we've got going on at the auction house. So we've got 5,325 in the queue for liquidation, but have not been called into the auction house yet. People have not started the auctions on these. And of course, we've got how many in the actual auction house? 47 today, which is about similar to yesterday. We had about this amount. Was it 43 yesterday? So cool. Let's see if we got one big one here. 1.4 million Hex. This is one of the big ones. Remember, there's about 90 or so of these. And this is pretty cool. 13 billion Airdron bid on this so far. And of course, at the lower price, real value, you had stable coins and you're coming out at a much better price even. 1.5 million Hex up for grabs here. 11.3 billion Hedron bid on that so far. What else is in here that's pretty big? 1 million Hex here, another one. Now, Poly would have bid on all these probably, assuming it hadn't run out. I'm sure it wouldn't have, but it would have bid on all these. 1.1 billion Hedron on this. 1. It's pretty fun. 128 T-shares. What else here? We've got 70,000, 300,000 Hex here. It's got 214 billion Hedron, 6 hours to go, 7 hours to go. 340,000 Hex here, 243 million Hedron. What else there? We've still got time to go for these. So those are some of the big ones, maybe about a half a dozen of big ones. There's a couple others there that would be attractive too for retail to get into. You may get a deal, you just never know. So that's kind of cool for that one. Let's have a look at Dev Huey. Dev Huey 6 hours ago said the website update for Hedron and Acosa live prices has now been rolled out and is available on hexmodel.com. So Hedron and Acosa live prices. So we're going to jump over to there. And, of course, you can see that, I think, on the home page is the live prices. You got Hex price, Acosa price on there, and Hedron ceiling. So they've got different calculations there. You can look through that. But we're going to have a look at the Hedron and look at what is currently happening with the burn and things like that. So let's have a look. So far, 6.86 trillion Hedron has been burned. And, of course, that's running from day one to day, I don't know what day it is now, day 277. All right, so Hedron minted those 76.27 trillion. Let's have a look at the last day, 277, and we've got minted 182, so it doesn't quite have the day there. Let's go to can we go to 2? Oh, it doesn't give me quite that that amount there. We'll have to wait till it gets updated. It doesn't look like it's really updated yet. So cool. That was a bit of a non-event. All right, let's go to the what's there. We're going to, it didn't scroll very well either on that one, so unfortunate. All right, so here we are. This is the Wattses. People holding the Wattses. Last man standing on Wattses. Yield $100. Wattses, sorry, the Acosa yield there, 1,033, subject to the price of Acosa, I guess. So looking pretty good there. Yesterday was a tiny day, 4.4 compared to the previous day. So that's ticking away. Let's have a look at Acosa. So if you're staking Acosa, you get Hedron and Acosa. So let's have a quick look at that. What day is this? Day 106 on the Acosa days. So there's the Hedron days, And then there's Arcosa days. We have the Hex days, so you got to count those. But on Arcosa days, since Arcosa launched day 106 here, it's got 2.2, almost 2.3 billion Hedron paid out, and with Arcosa 93,000 Arcosa paid out on day 106. So it's kind of cool. I guess we can just use the scroll bar too to muck around with that, but we won't. All right, cool. We've got lots of still got lots of Hex HSIs coming up all the way to Christmas. So we'll be watching that. You can actually see those on the HSI Hex buyback page on hexmodel.com. So that's coming up as well. So let's have a look at that. Wait for it to render. Yeah, so all the way up here, you've got quite a few thousands of T-shares still coming up all the way up to the 23rd of December there. You can see some of these big candles. We've got a little bit of a gap there in the middle of December, but you can see December's actually got a lot of T-shares coming in. Thousands most days, just over 1,000 most days. So still a lot to be burned and bid on and stuff like that. Let's jump over to that. There's pretty much it for Hedron. Let's jump over to airdrops. Now, you can find the airdrops in our Discord. The link's in the video description. We've got two main chats. We've got Richard Hart chats and we've got Pulsechain chats. In Pulsechain chats, we have airdrops and free claims. You can go and find all those there. We've got Zen, of course, is a free mint. Does cost you a little bit of gas fees depending on which chain you're on. There's about like 10 chains, but the ETH chain is what we're covering, and the price is going down at the moment. We are waiting for the Zen NFTs and the burning that goes with those NFTs. I think they'll become probably even the main game in the short term, medium term. And of course, this has got a log function in its growth, so there's a lot of inflation at the beginning. It'll take about 8 years before it goes from about 65,000 or something for one day, 60,000, 65,000 one day of Zen down to year 8, where it gets down to like 10 Zen by year 8. So you can see most of the inflation is probably in the first third or something like that. So we're watching that profile on a log function, a log 2 function there. It's at 6,001.11 there, so we're almost touching the bottom that we had back here. I'm hoping for a nice rally into January because we've got a couple of 98-day mints coming out, kind of my short strategy there. So we'll see how that plays out. And I'm lucky enough to free carry. Now, I know a lot of people may not have, but I'm lucky to free carry on the gas fees there just because I caught one of those bounces in the price there. Not at the top, though, but close enough. Right, so cool. We got weight token. Weight token, obviously, most people are waiting. There's 8 different sacrifices to qualify for this. And, of course, that's at quarter of a penny at the moment, just mulling along in this new range. So we used to have it bouncing off half a penny. It's now in the quarter of a penny range. And most people are just waiting for Pulsechain. So cool. Let's have a look at the Paul Pleb. Paul Pleb, unfortunately, probably launched at the worst time. But it did manage to bounce off 2,000 with 5 zeros in front of it. And got up to 5,700, and now is at 3,200. So just mulling along here. Still got a higher low, but no higher high. And that's Paul Pleb. Now, obviously, I think it was if you did $10 to $1,000, you could qualify any of the sacrifices for Pulsechain, Pulsex, I think it is. I think that's kind of it. But check out our Discord with the airdrop free claims group. There's a group on the left under Pulsechain, and you can check that out. All right, cool. That is airdrops. Let's look at Pulse Bitcoin. Now, obviously, this has been the excitement that we've had lately, and I continue. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see this play out. This is a virtual representation of a Bitcoin in a more pure sense, as opposed to Hex, which is Bitcoin with a proof of work change. This is kind of a digital representation of that. $1.71 at the moment. So did have a spike though. Look at that spike of $1.90. A low of $1.65, so a 25-cent range. We're currently at $1.71 towards the bottom of that at the moment. We have not had a rally in this chart yet. No rally, but we have so far. The chart is going towards my expectation, except the rally has not happened yet. So timing the rally not always easy to know, but we'll see. Looks like the last 3 days kind of bottoming out here, so maybe we might get that soon. Obviously, bearish conditions generally in the market as well. All right, so Pulse Bitcoin, let's have a look at the transform. We're ticking away here. What day are we? Day 40 out of 60. So we've got 20 more days to go. And then maybe we might get some fireworks before Christmas. Christmas time, are we going to have fireworks? I think we might do. Who knows? 3,121,000 Pulse Dogecoin has been transformed into just over 15.3 million asset tokens. There's a 5-to-1 ratio. 20 days to go for this. Assets are going to become more scarce after that. And that's why I think ATMs, assets, Pulse Bitcoin, Pulse Dogecoin, and maybe Pulse Litecoin are going to be ranked in that order. That's my order. Let me know in the chat if you agree with that or not. So cool. 51.214% of Pulse Dogecoin has been burned so far. So we're going to see how that Meme coin competes with the rest of the ecosystem with 5 coins. We're going to find out how that plays out. And will there be any more special little gamifications coming from the dev? We'll also find that out too. Let's go to see what people have done with the asset tokens. 7,064 people are mining so far. Their Pulse Bitcoin, 18 million in asset mining power, which includes the ATM miners that have redeemed. We've got 32,000 assets have been burned. Remember, there's a burning fee every time you mine for 30 days. So cool. We've got 2,328,000 PLSB or Pulse Bitcoin has been mined so far. And I think only about 1 million that's been minted into existence. 11.5 million Pulse Bitcoin. So this is, I believe, forward-looking. So when people after 30 days, when they mint their Pulse Bitcoin, they can then restake their asset tokens, less the fees, of course, for asset mining, and then, of course, get more Pulse Bitcoin. I believe it's forward-looking adds in the future value that's coming out in the market. So cool. The asset token miner, let's have a look at that. 2,916 ATMs at the moment, tradable on Rarible and OpenSea. 1.2 million points left in ATMs, last man standing. And of course, global average points at the moment, 423 points. Global redeemed is 3.3 million points, 1,268 is the average. That's kind of it. Now, I do know that obviously mining at the moment, even with the price pullback, I'm not sure what the APY is on that. Previously, people were talking about 18%, so obviously gone down from there probably. So let us know in the chat how your portfolio is going with your mining on that one. So that is kind of Pulse Bitcoin. We're going to jump out of there. Let's have a quick look at BNB POT. Let's have a quick look at that. BNB POT at the moment. Oh, it's raining outside. It's raining. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but BNB POT, let's have a look at that. All right, so $9.83 at the moment on BNB POT, holding up pretty nicely there at this stage. So we're going to have a quick look at, I didn't even bring up the website, but let's pull up the website here, BNB POT, and have a look at that. It's going to close down some of these other pages here. Is that going to open? Hopefully. All right, so it's wanting me to join, but hey, what game are we up to? 9,772 games have been played for Jackpot. Woohoo! All right, so that's pretty nice there. Powerball is coming up. We don't know when, but it's going to be soon, and Roulette's also coming up soon, and that's going to be cool. So the revenue will increase, all things equal. The revenue should increase with the new games, and of course, we'll be looking forward to that. Let's have a look at the token. What are we going to look at? Oh, they've taken the stats page off, so there must be. Maybe they're doing some work on the stats page. Seems to have taken that off at the moment. We've got 5,000 in the airdrop. Lottery is 3.4 and the burn is 11.7 at the moment. Staked is 76.67 at the moment. That's cool. Now, we did get an update. PSI gave us an update in our Pulsechain update, so we're going to quickly read that. Let me just go back up here. PSI says that Jacob, which is the founder of dev of BNB POT, posted in Telegram a cool thing. Says, we have unfortunately been contacted by a lot of people who have been scammed out of their seed words or private keys. Luckily for victims, in some cases, the hackers could not steal stake BNB during the time lock. This now becomes a race against time to be the first to withdraw the funds when the stake ends. I have decided to build a specialized BNB bot, a sweeper bot that will act on your behalf, unstake your tokens, and send it to a wallet under our control, acting significantly faster than any human could possibly do. If you're in such a situation, you can contact Jacob. He will set up a sweeper bot in an attempt to save your BNB when your stake ends. Let us try to help you. Yeah, that's one of the cool things about the BNB staking is that it stays in your wallet. It gets locked in, so people can't take it. So there's a sweeper bot opportunity there. You have to go to Telegram for BNB bot and talk to Jacob about that. So remember, do your own investment due diligence on that. That is an opportunity, though, if that did afford you, unfortunately. So that's kind of cool at the moment. The stats page has disappeared. I'm not sure where that's gone. Let's have a look at participation. 68. Oh, we're 68.2% through. So we're over 2/3 and ticking away there. This won't get paid out until the very last one is paid out. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. All right, cool. That was our pretty much update there. And the price has just gone up to $9.93. So almost back over $10. Doing pretty well, I think, on the whole, especially in this bear market. All right, so cool. That is pretty much it. Now, Famous, of course, I did cover that with the fees there. So I'll post this in the chat there if you want to look at this tweet, because this tweet, if you're doing internet money, you should probably keep, if you want dollar values, then you can reference this to put in that old calculator at the bottom. All right, cool. We've got some more comments in the chat. Let me get to some of that. Let's get some of that. Let's get some. I think I got up to those comments. Crypto Cav says, I'm sacrificed for famous. I see more value there. That's in the mud trading, which I covered on this channel. We did cover the whole video on that, so you can go see Internet Famous one. And of course, I hear you, but PLSX will moon way higher than Internet Money, says Street Guru. And of course, Ramon says, where does what's it? Fella start? I'm not sure what that is, Ramon. I think you mean famous. Yeah, famous. Yeah. Not sure. We'll just stay tuned for that. Superman, stop reminding me what Polly would have bid on, says Brendan. Yeah, sorry about that too. My bad. These no-name tokens safe. You feel safe? I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Street Guru. You're coming in pretty negative there, Street Guru. I'm not sure what's going on there. You should be a bit more constructive about it. Sam says headed out for a walk with the dogs here, Sam. Hey, you and Matt and Bali are both on the walks there. What else there? I scroll to the comments. Was it? Here, Discord. Okay, cool. Christian says, I just came back to the live. Do you know why the contract address for Internet Money doesn't stack? Yeah, get into our Discord, Christian. But the wallet address seems to be this one here. They have had a little issue there launching, which is they had last time too, actually. They had a little issue. But this is the wallet address OXCBA 2005, 2001 there. But the data's not coming through the website. So unfortunately for them, not a seamless launch, but get into Discord. Brian can help you out there, Christian. That's probably the best way to go. Remember, nothing on this channel is investment advice. Obviously, we're not the project that's launching here, but we are covering them at the moment. Do you think there will be a pump on Hex's birthday? I don't think so, Sarah. I'd be surprised. I don't think we got one yesterday. Yes, the price actually went down on last birthday, but we'll see. You never know. Each year is a different year, and we will see on that one. What else there? We got Bitcoin just broke out, says Lammy. Did it? Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Not quite a breakout, Lammy. Not quite a breakout, but it's definitely a little bit higher there. And ETH there at 1200. So we'll see. Is it a bull trap? Is it a breakout of some form? We'll see. 299. We are expecting the hammer to fall at some stage. BNB almost back to 300. Nice green day though, right? And Hex there is at 2.73. So very nice. Hey, I like prices going up. I mean, that's just the way it goes. We'll see how we get on there. All right, so cool. That is pretty much it. Let's jump away from that. Now, Famous, I don't know if they've got any update on their actual launch. The demo is live, and I covered this on full. I did a whole YouTube video on this on Hex Token, so you can check that out. We went through the whole thing. So the one thing they don't have, so if we go to testnet here, the one thing they don't, I'm going to have to switch to Pulsechain, but the one thing they don't have is, let me just switch to Pulsechain. The one thing they don't have is the limit orders, the stop losses and take profits on there yet. So it's one thing they don't have. But it's pretty easy to use. Like if I bought let's say I bought $10,000 of Hex, and that's going to give me a 5x leverage. So normally on most exchanges, like if you're like on Bitfinex or Qcoin, something like that, typically a 3x is most that you would want. If you're going to be risk taking like this, 3x is really the most leverage you want to do. You're still really bad. Otherwise, it's like really bad. So if we expect the price of Hex to go up. We're going to go long on this. We're going to click long, and of course, we're going to have to pay fees. We have to pay fees when you open, pay fees when we close. We have to pay fees on the money we're borrowing. So how do we get leverage? We basically borrowing the money to leverage. That's how it works, which is why there's a liquidity provision on this platform too. So that's the way it goes there. So cool. We got our opening position that's opening here. Now, when I did the live stream, I did three, and they all went the right direction. So who knows why? Maybe someone was helping me, had a little angel there, I don't know. But we'll see. At the moment, the Hex price this is on Pulsechain testnet, so it's only not real. It's just being tested, but it's pretty cool. Now, the one thing they couldn't do before is that I think it was on the. I'm just trying to think. Was it on the close? No, not on the close. Oh, maybe it's on the close. I don't think they've enabled. They haven't enabled the stop limits and stop losses. Now you can do chart positions. So if we toggle this on, maybe. I'm not sure if that's not even showing, is it? Oh, there it is there. So Hex long. So when I toggle this off, it will take the position off the chart. But when I toggle it on, it will show the chart there. So basically, if I'm going long, I want the price to go up. If the price goes down, then I'm going to lose money, and I could potentially lose all my money. And with a 3-to-1 ratio, it means about 30%, something like that. Yeah, don't want that to happen. So cool. It's got my entry position, which was $1.33 as well. So the mark price is, I believe, a rolling average price. So that's to stop, big spikes in the market. I think that's how that works. And the collateral there, I've got $10,000 that I put on there, and I'm up 8 cents. Yay, up 8 cents. I had to pay fees though, right? I had to pay fees of $50 or something. So that's kind of cool. That is in play at the moment. And normally you would put a stop loss. This has just got no risk management to it. So it's really risky when you do it like this. So cool. Anyway, I wasn't even planning on talking about Famous, but hey, we're waiting for that. They're going to have a sacrifice coming up at some stage. We'll see when that comes out. I don't know if there's anything on here. Yeah, nothing yet. So stay tuned for that one. Now, this is related to Fiat, the same project team. We'll see how it goes. They are providing utilities, but this is for people that are risk takers. It's not for people that are looking for good, strong, conservative, more conservative in crypto investments like Hex, for example. So it's a very different play. All right, cool. Let's jump over to. It does have staking, by the way. So if you don't have to take the risk, you don't have to do the stuff. You can just go to the Earn tab, stake your fame when they have the sacrifice token, or provide liquidity. And of course, the liquidity is being used for the trading here over the trade on that one. So that's kind of cool. That's a bit of a summary. All right, cool. Let's jump out of there. Obviously, we've covered the Hex, the internet money here. Just having a look to see whether they've got any updates on the Twitter there. No, they haven't got any updates there on that one. We'll jump through that. Let's have a look and see whether the website's updated. We're up to 1 hour and 17 minutes. So going slightly longer than I expected and so forth. So cool. Let's have a look at the sacrifices and see what the results are up to into money. So they're up to 170,000 on ETH chain. They're up to, let's have a look here, up to 30,000 on BSC chain. So what's that? What did I say? 170. So they're up to 200,000 so far. And how much on Matic? $700. And of course, they've got AVAX chain as well. So there's 4 chains there that are receiving a sacrifice. So we'll see how that goes and how they get on over the next days. They've had plenty of YouTubers cover it. There's probably will be 5 to 10 YouTubers, maybe 5 at least. 6 was there 4 yesterday? A couple more than that. So quite a few in the house covering that. So anyway, let's get into Hex daily stats. Woo! Day 1093. Let's do it. Hot off the press here. And of course, we've got to cover the Hex daily stats. This is Hex Token channel after all. And of course, price change up 7.7%. To 2.689. Yes, finally we broke that chain of decreases. 29th of November, day 1093. We've got 1 day closer. One more day to go. Hex, 1 more day to go until day 1095. The payout per T-share 6.257. Another good day of Hex penalties. That's what happens. You stake Hex. It's a truth tale, all right. It's a truth. You keep to your truth, and it will happen. Your truth, not that there's your truth, but the truth. T-share there up 5.8 to 25,179. We've got the average stake length there 6.71 years. The APY rate is 37.88%, and the liquidity is 337.6 million Hex, down from 371 yesterday. Woohoo! Rock on, man! Is that awesome or what? That's awesome. And of course, we got liquidity in the pool 10 million. Hex USD in the poll. Yes, we're back to 10 million. Yes, you guys know I love the 10 million mark. Minimum 10 million. So it's great to be there. Look at us. The last 10 days we've not been there. When was the last time? 3. So 9 and 3. 12 days ago. 12 days ago, man. That's crazy. So 12 days. It's almost 2 weeks to get back to 10 million. Very cool. We've got ETH in the poll 1,434. Very nice. And of course, what else are we going to go to? We're going to go T-shares is up 3,393 up to 10,358,000. But this has been one of probably the most local significant things lately in the Hex numbers is the T-shares. Remember, Hex is easy to understand. We have a reward pool with inflation and penalties, and we have an ownership pool with T-shares, which stands for trillions of shares. That if that goes down, and this is what we're seeing, then your Hex payout per T-share is going up. And if it goes down significantly with some of these big plays, like 22,000, 20,000 coming out, then that bodes well for your payouts as a Hex staker. Pretty cool. We had a poll yesterday, was it? And most people said, the most vast majority said that to be a Hexkin, you have to have at least something staked, right? So I think that was the poll. Pretty sure that was the result. All right, so cool. Anyway, you can take for what it was. That's what the poll stated there. Stake percentage of coins 9.69% of all Hex is staked at the moment. We had 1.2 million in Hex penalties today, so a good day in the office And of course, we had a couple other good days in the last 10 days. Let's have a look at our growth numbers. Well, it says the wallet numbers down 97 to 314. So I don't know whether that's small accounts or what. We had a few decreases in wallets, and we've been having grown pretty well at the wallets. But the headline number is the staking number, and we're up 360 stakers today, 340 yesterday, and we're up at 115,318 stakers, and we've got one more day to go until we get to the Hex's third birthday. It's coming up pretty nicely, so cool. We've got what else there? We've got the total wallets up 308 to 513,987. So those numbers have all been going up pretty nicely. Obviously, with the price of Hex, means that we get new retail booking, more opportunities for people. We're on day 1,094, folks. Here we go. Woohoo! 1,094, and we've got a base rate for the Hex payout at 6.193 Hex. Pretty nice. So well done. Very cool. All right, I think that's probably the highlights. We've got Hex having a nice second green candle today. We've just started this. It's only been 50 minutes into this new candle, and we're already up from the open was 2.7. We're currently at 2.75. So we're up slightly already. So let's see where this goes. And a lot of fun. And yes, Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin did break out. Whoa. Now I've got to come back. Who put that in earlier? I was talking about that. Lammy says, well, maybe I didn't refresh my URL there, Lammy, because that's definitely, that just jumped to 4%. So maybe it was the URL that hadn't been refreshed. So yes, you are right. That is breaking up to the high side. So I do apologize for that, Lammy. It was just my, I just don't think it had refreshed. I guess it isn't meant to be, says Christian. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, you're talking about the sacrifice? Get into Discord, Christian, and we can all hang out and talk about it there. 3 years of flawless operation, says Refined. Yes, we are only one more day away, I guess, from that. So very cool. It's exciting, folks. Welcome, all the Hexkins. You're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. You're not worthy. I don't know what I'm saying. We're going crazy here. It's probably lunchtime. That's probably why. Sandy Beach in the house coming in late. Sandy Beach has been on someone else's YouTube channel. Yeah. Time out, Sandy Beach. No, I'm just kidding. Good to see Sandy Beach in the house there. Woohoo! All right. We got a little breakout to the high side here. This could bode well for the Hex and the Hedron. The Hedron there at 1938 as well. We've obviously almost into the first hour of the live stream. So we're going to keep going for another 8 minutes. Actually, we'll just cover the internet money and the Hex charts for the next 8 minutes because we might as well finish on an hour and a half of our live stream. And of course, that will give us the first hour of the sacrifice for internet money as a bit of an archive, really. You know me, I love archiving. I've archived so much stuff on this channel. All the Maximus have archived that. If you want to get all the results from day after day, I've got that on this channel. Icosa, Hedron, I've done that. Pulsechain, done that. I've done Pulsechain, but on another channel. You can see that. So that's kind of cool. Sandy says, I was sacrificing more IMD, lol. Nice one. Sandy Beach says, you've been told. You've been told, so that's true. Sandy Beach says, hello, Hex Token, everybody. So happy I got new emojis. Well done, Sandy. You finally fixed that up too. Very, very cool as well. Nice one. All right, so we're going to keep tracking this at the moment. Let's see how we go. We're currently 53 minutes in. We're going to go for the full hour to get the hour results. We've got 144,000 and the other tokens and Ether 28. So we're getting up there, 144 plus 28. So we're up to 172 on the main address there. We've got the BSC chain. Let's refresh that. And we've got 18 and 30. So, we're up to basically 203,000 approximately if we include Polyscan. I'm not sure how much is on the AVAX chain. Yeah, so AVAX Block Explorer, AVAX Blockchain Explorer. Let's have a look. All right, so it looks like it's got $30 in the AVAX one, $30 in the AVAX one at the moment. Actually, what is this? It's got other chains on it. Has it got all the other chains? BSC Polygon scan, yeah. So it's got an ETH chain. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so nice, working nicely there. So we've got all 4 chains up now. Hardly any AVAX on there. So you guys obviously don't spend much Pulsechains and that don't spend much time in the AVAX chain. That's probably the case there. I already said that there. So we're over $200,000. We're 55 minutes into it, 5 more minutes to go. We've got a nice little pump in a BTC at the moment going on. ETH at the moment. Is it a bit of a bull flag? Is it a bit of a false flag? Bull trap, I should say. I mean, bull trap. And we'll see. We've got Hex at 2.73. Come on, Hex, you can do it. Birthday's coming up, Hex. Come on, let's get up. Let's get back to all-time high by birthday time. We've got Hedron there at 1938 as well. And we are ticking along here. And I don't think the website's quite working here. I'm sure KG is going to be annoyed about this because they spend so much time on this. And we had an issue with this the last Sacrifice launch. They managed to resolve that. But, yeah, it seems to be working there. So not as easy as you think, is it, to get these things flawlessly operating. Sandy Beach has bought some Hex as well. Woohoo! Nice one. We're going to do the bow down for that. Sandy Beach, you're a legend. You come in with all these legend bombs, as we say, legend bombs. All right, cool. Let's have a quick look at Richard Hart. I don't think Richard Hart's got much on here at the moment. He was very busy yesterday on Discord. Sorry, on Telegram. I'm sorry, was it Twitter? He was very busy on Twitter yesterday. So yeah, about that. That's about it. So not a lot today from him. Let's refresh that one more time. So it's just slowly creeping in there. So look there, transfers. So we've got quite a few in on the meeting now. Just wondering how big some of these are. 0.165 ETH, 0.1 ETH, 0.23 ETH there, 0.8 ETH, 0.2. So we'll see how that goes. It's got 83 transactions so far on the ETH chain. I'm just trying to find some of the bigger ones there. 0.7. Let's see if anyone's putting some big stuff. 0.3. 3.2. So this is the biggest one here. So we had early on, we had 3.2 and 1. So it looks like the two biggest there so far in terms of the ETH chain sacrifice. 0.84 there. Yes, 0.84. So is that really? Is that right? Yes, it's. And then we have. Oh, that's just the ETH chain, right? So this is the ETH side. We have to open this up and have a look at the all chain. So 172 all chain, and what's the big amount here? So we got can we do hide zero assets? Hide zero assets. I got that on already. All right, so cool. We got 120,000 in USDC, 18,000 in Hex, almost 4,800 in Tether, and 1,500 in DAI stable there as well. That's kind of where, and 28,000 in Ethereum there. So mostly USDC. And let's have a look at the BSC scan. Yeah, join Discord, says Fat Sammy. Yeah, if you want to join Discord, have chat about this, and we'll have a on Discord. Get into the chat. We'll probably open up the crypto chat, have a chat about the internet money and other stuff there. So get into there, and our Discord links in the video description and in the chat. KD says breaking: Brazilian lawmakers approve bill regulating use of Bitcoin and crypto as a payment. Nice one, KD. Good information there. I actually have some Matic laying around. Maybe I'll sacrifice that too. That's Sandy Beach. That's funny. I actually have a little bit of Matic too sitting around. I could probably do it myself. That'd be funny. All right, cool. That is pretty much it on there. So we've got what 40. How much here? 12,000 in BNB, 13,800 in BSD, 2,500 in USDC, and BSD at 2,100. So it's kind of the play there. And I think so far just Matic is the only one on Polygon. So it's only how much here? $733 on there. So it looks like we're just over $200,000 really on the old chains. We add them up. Really, so BSC and ETH are the two main chains, and they're just slowly ticking up there as well. So 176 plus 30, so 206,000 plus 700. So it looks like we're just under $207,000 so far, and we're just coming up on the first hour, folks. The first hour. You saw it live. So yeah, if you want to join our conversation in Discord afterwards, get in there and talking about internet money and other stuff in there as well under probably the crypto chat there. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And take care, everybody. Bye for now. Peace out, everybody. Catch you later. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And if you want to join the channel as a member, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechain, Xskins, and the Richard Hart Club. Way to go. Looks like we've got some really nice stuff here with the Hex price. 2.75. Let's get rid of the overlays. And there it is, folks. That is 1 day to go. One more day to go. The Hex's third birthday will be in year 444, which is going to be a lot of fun. All right, take care, everybody. Bye for now. Peace out.